Well, on the news today, you got quite a powerful visual if you want to see a near miss at Chicago's Midway Airport. It was Southwest Airlines Flight 2504 that narrowly avoided a collision with a private business jet when the airliner's pilots aborted the landing to fly about 250 feet above the taxiing jet. They said the taxiing jet mistakenly crossed the runway where the Southwest flight was cleared to land, and air traffic control had told the jet 9 times not to cross the runway.
What?
9 times.
9 times?
Yeah, I don't understand how this happened. 9 times you're told not to do something? Unless your radio had gone out, you couldn't hear? What is going on that you're so oblivious to crossing? Now, I don't know anything about flying, so maybe there's an easy explanation for this, but I don't understand when you're clearly driving across the path of another jet that is coming in and they're telling you 9 different times not to cross the runway and you do anyway. How does that even happen?
It feels like you're doing it on purpose.
I don't even know.
Are you trying to cause a collision?
I don't understand aviation. I only see what is being reported in the story, and I've got some questions. And the one thing I wonder, too, if you're on the road and you disobey the laws of the land, you get a ticket. Do airline pilots get a ticket? Can they go and give a ticket, a citation to the pilot of this private jet?
They should.
I'm sure you can. I mean, if you're doing something wrong, I bet you get some kind of fine.
Yeah, maybe.
You should. You should absolutely get a fine if they told you 9 times not to go that way and you just went that way.
Yeah, just odd, but it's, dramatic videos you can imagine. It's crystal clear, and they have cameras everywhere now at an airport.
Yeah, they do.
It was perfectly framed and everything. This plane is coming in, and you can see this little private plane going right across its runway, and it having to veer right back up into the sky.
It is weird how much bad plane publicity's going down.
It feels like every day there's a different story. Yesterday it was smoke in the cabin in that Delta flight. Today it's almost a Southwest flight almost wrecks because of a private plane.
It is.
There's
now.
TikToks that are so funny of people. It's them, and they're pretending to be just boarding a plane, and they go, "Hey, is anybody on this plane important? Because it feels like they're taking people out. If you're important, I want you off this plane now."
I bet the people behind them really love that they're doing their TikTok video. Like, dude, can we just sit down on the plane, please?
Everybody's doing TikTok videos, Jay Bird.
That's so annoying. You're holding your luggage. Some douche is doing a TikTok video.
And they're doing well. They're
doing really well.
Of course they are.
Yeah, there's actually a girl from Florida, might be Orlando, Desiree Salter. She was hopping aboard a JetBlue plane going to Punta Cana, and she brought some blessing oil with her and said a prayer, and you can see her doing the cross on the side of the plane. You know how when you're walking through the runway and you can see the exterior of the plane as you're getting on it?
Yeah.
So yeah, she's doing the sign of the cross and the oil there, saying a prayer. She posted it up on TikTok, gets 6 million views.
I tried doing that and I'd get speared by a taser.
Yeah. And there's another flight story. This doesn't have to do with a near collision, but they say a couple's dream trip to Italy turned into a nightmare when a woman collapsed and died mid-flight. And they didn't know what to do with her, so they forced this couple to sit right next to the dead body for 4 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, hell no.
Could you imagine flying next to a corpse for 4 hours strapped
Sir,
right next to you?
Would you like to try a sandwich? No, I'm good.
They were flying from Melbourne to Venice.
Oh,
going
my
to Qatar.
gosh.
And they were not allowed to change seats.
Okay, drinks need to be on the house at that point, right?
I think you need drinks for the rest of the year. I mean, I am not sitting in that seat sober. I'd be like, look, you need to get me hammered and quick.
If there's no other seat, though, what are the options?
That was just it. They told him, they said, there's no other options. We don't have any other seats. And she did.
There's always like a jump seat. Can I please sit in the jump seat?
Right.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's pretty crazy, yeah. So, the big question is, okay, well, what is the deal here with all of these reports that we have for the last month and a half?
Calamity in the skies.
Every day.
Every single day.
One comment that we got here via text says, the only reason that we're hearing about these plane incidents is because the media is making a point to report on them. You can actually go to the NTSB website and look up the details for yourself. There are actually less incidents regarding planes this year than there were last year during the same time.
But that's what I was trying to ask you guys. Is this just all
Trickery?
of a sudden these plane things are going down, or does this stuff happen all the time, but it just never got reported? This is just
Right.
regular stuff.
That's it.
Great question.
It seems like they're mining for these stories and trying to throw everything up. And maybe it is a prevalence of social media, but also at the same time, everything's political. And there might be some kind of malintentions to this because, yeah, I did look it up, and you can go and see on the National Transportation Safety Board, they say the number of aviation accidents every year has remained steady over the past decade. And the past 2 months have actually seen fewer fatal and non-fatal incidents than the same time frame in both 2023 and 2024.
So how does it get political? If you believe it, you're one party, and if you don't believe it, you're the other party.
It's about what's going on with, there's a lot of things that are going on about the air transportation safety and DOGE and firing people and blah, blah, blah. And of course, as soon as Trump took over, then our skies are no longer safe. And so, yeah, that's it. So you just sit there and you watch the news and you're like, okay, what are they feeding me?
Yeah.
Somebody else texted in here, says that I've been a pilot a long time and my college degree is actually in professional aeronautics. There aren't any more runway incursions or near misses now than there have ever been. It's just that they didn't make the news before. Nowadays, they're reported on more for just clickbait.
I believe that 95%. I really do. I was already kind of starting to wonder that. If these are just things that always happen, but they were kind of boring to report on. But now, because we had a few big things happen, everything's being reported on. This is what they do, Virginia. They got us.
They got us.
I'm aging out of Earth. I'm going to the woods.
Yeah.
Can I go too?
Come to the woods. We'd love to have you.
Okay. Well, just to let you know when you see all that stuff. But so the whole time, we just had no idea how scary the skies were.
It's been going on this whole time.
I was taking flights. I'm having a great time.
I think the train industry loves this.
Yeah, probably. So I was asking a second ago with the video you're watching today of the near collision at Chicago's Midway Airport of jet airliner had to pull back up because some numbskull in a private plane was going right across their runway, and they had said that air traffic control had told them 9 separate times to not go across that runway.
I mean, 9.
Right. And so I was wondering, okay, how does that happen? And when you're driving a car and you don't do what's right, you get a citation. So does that also apply to pilots? And Virginia, you have a pilot friend that just texts you that answer?
Yeah, my pilot friend Lee said, "Good morning. The FAA regulates all pilots' licenses. They can revoke both the pilots who were in the cockpit of that plane who failed to listen to air traffic control." He also said, near-miss incidents happen every single day. It's just more people taking more videos now that catch these incidents, and then we post them on social media, and then they get more exposed, and then it's just a whole thing.
Could you just text him real quick? Does he ever eat in the cockpit?
Do you ever eat in the cockpit?
I like this.
He's going to think I lost my mind.
I don't know. Do you want your pilot eating in the cockpit? I don't know if I do.
I mean, if it's on, like, cruise control, I think a lot of times if it's, like, a long flight, they're on cruise control in the air. He can't have a sandwich?
You're comfortable if you find out that your pilot's eating hot, delicious soup?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. And I think they do eat. The problem that you have, and I saw this in a movie one time. Let's say they get bad fish,
You're right, though.
and then they all of a sudden start getting sick, and now the airplane is in distress because all the pilots have been taken out by food poisoning.
Yeah, what happens if you're the pilot and you get a horrific case of poopy cramps?
Because some of that airport food, I mean, some of that food they serve you, no offense to the food people that make it, but it looks gray and weird.
The co-pilot has the juice to be able to take over, right?
What if both of them eat the sandwich?
If they both got poopy cramps at the same time, we are in trouble.
What do they have? What, pilot, co-pilot, navigators? So you got, isn't it 3 people that are in the cockpit?
I don't know. Is it 2? I think it's 2. I don't know.
Okay.
Wow.
Is the navigator able to fly the plane?
That's the question. Is the third person in the cockpit, if the other two do get poopy cramps, are they able to take over?
Yeah, I don't know. They weren't in the movie Airplane.
Okay, my pilot friend says yes, sometimes he does. It depends. He may eat in the cockpit. But flights are on cruise control, autopilot, literally after they take off until they land.
Yeah, okay.
What a quick response.
So, two pilots, Jay said, navigator, how old are you, Kathy? I'm very old. And if I remember right in the movie Airplane, they had a navigator, so that's my point of reference.
That movie was from 1980.
It was, yeah. That's what happens when you get old. You think that airplanes have navigators.
He said, all we do is turn knobs to change altitude and direction.
Okay, so eat your hot, delicious soup.
But just don't let it be food poison.
And don't spill it on your crotch, and don't let your fingers get greasy. I don't want no quick, jerks with the steering wheel.
You're right.
You don't want no ham grease turn.
Yes.
Yep.
This is how we do. It's the KBJ Show.